Okay guys, now I'm going to demonstrate to you, or in fact make yourself familiar with the IBM SPSS software. Before we can do the inferential statistic analysis, we must first understand or get ourselves familiarized with IBM SPSS. So now I'm opening up the software by clicking the icon down here, IBM SPSS Statistic 20. So we wait until the window is open. Right. So these are the previous data that I already analyzed. So we do not want to open my previous data. So we just cancel this. Right. So in IBM SPSS, there are two what we call um, window that you have to get yourself familiar with. The data view, as well as down here you can see the variable view. So in the data view, you can see the common tabs on top of this window. You have file, edit, view, data, and so on. So file is actually where you can open and save the data. Okay, rename it and so on. Edit is when you want to insert variable, insert case, and so on. We are going to explain this later. View, if you want to see, for example, value labels and stuff. Data, if you want to define variable properties. Okay, you want to sort anything, restructure, split, weight the case and stuff. Transform, for example, you want to compute new variables from the existing variable, you can use this tab. And then analyze. So this is the one, analyze is the one that we are going to use the most. Here we can see all the different tests, the descriptive statistic. We can compare means, okay, one way ANOVA there. You can use general linear model, univariate, multivariate. We are going to use all these things. Correlation, bivariate, regression, okay. And then down here you can see non-parametric tests, okay, all the different tests, okay. And then forecasting, survival, all these are the different tests available in the IBM SPSS software. And then you can draw a chart, okay, using the chart builder and so on. So these are the different tabs available in the data view. Variable view, on the other hand, is the the more important view to me, because here we have to define what are the variables that we want to incorporate in. So we have to define our variables as precisely as possible, because if we don't, the SPSS will not be able to compute and we cannot get the output that we want. Okay, so here we have to define every single variables that we are using, including that we can label them or even separate them into different groups by changing the values. I'm going to show you later on using the data from my undergraduate student who studied about the proximate composition of nutrient, okay, in larvae, Crassomya megacephala larvae and Crassomya rufifacis larvae, collected from the different substrates, okay, the different fish substrates. So I'm going to show you how am I going to key in the data into IBM SPSS. Okay, later on I'm going to show you that. Okay, now I will share with you the data. Later on you can test on your own how to use it. So these are the data in the Excel worksheet. You can see the proximate nutrient composition in third instar larvae of Megacephala and Rufifacis on two different substrates, yellowtail and Atlantic mackerel. So two different fishes. So you can see here one set of data for Megacephala in yellowtail, and then another set Megacephala in Atlantic mackerel, and then another set Rufifacis in yellowtail. Okay, and then the final set will be on Rufifacis on the what we call mackerel, Atlantic mackerel. So you can see that there are dependent variables, okay, moisture, ash, protein, crude fiber, carbohydrate, and energy. So you can assume that the independent variable will be um, the what we call the substrates that were used. Okay, that will be the independent variable, and the dependent variables are the different what we call composition of proximate analysis that the data are given, right? So now I'm going to show you how I'm going to key in all this data into the IBM SPSS environment. Okay, now we go to IBM SPSS. More importantly, as I mentioned, the variable view is the place which is very important for us to define all the different variables. So now you can see that we have groups. Okay, we have how many groups? 1, 2, 3, okay, and 4. You have 4 groups. Okay. Okay, then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 dependent variables. And for each group, we have 15 replicates of analysis. Okay, now I'm going to show you. So you make sure that you click the variable view. Okay, in the first column here, you put group. In this window, in that variable view environment, when you are defining the group, you cannot use spacebar or special character. Okay, so for example, this is the first one, groups. Okay, type numerical, width is the what we call the width area for typing this. Decimal point, I don't want to use decimal point at this moment, so I will maintain as 0 because groups does not have that. So label groups of larvae and substrates used. Say like that. That is the label. So here is very important to see the values. You click here. Okay, you can see value and label. So we have 4 groups, right? So we label 1 as, for example, Crassomya megacephala in yellowtail. Okay, click add. Okay, number 2, Crassomya megacephala in Atlantic mackerel. Okay, number 2. Number 3, okay, Crassomya rufifacis in yellowtail. Okay, and number 4, you have Crassomya rufifacis in Atlantic mackerel. Okay, so you already defined all the 4 groups that you want to enter the data about. Okay, so just make sure that you check scale. Okay, scales are numerical. Okay, just maintain a scale. Then you have your dependent variables. What are the dependent variables? You have moisture, ash, protein. Okay, how many decimal points are there? So they are using 2 decimal points. Okay, moisture. Okay, then you have ash, protein. Okay, protein. Okay, then you have crude lipid, crude fiber. C lipid. Okay, C fiber. Okay, then what else? Carbohydrate and energy. 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . energy. Okay, right, so you can label this as content protein. This is crude protein. Okay, crude lipid. Okay, crude fiber. Content. Crude lipid also content, right? Okay, then carbohydrate. Then of course you have your energy. Okay, now you already define all the variables. Your independent variable is your group, and the dependent variables are the different approximate composition. Now you can click to data view. Alright, so if you remember, in the variable view, you already defined the different groups of larvae from the substrate as 1 to 4. 1 cm yellowtail, 2 cm Atlantic mackerel, 3 cr Crassomyrophyphasis yellowtail, and then 4 Crassomyrophyphasis Atlantic mackerel. So you are going to use this. So now you click data view. Okay, so you have 15, right? Each. So you can put 1. Okay, and then you have 2. Okay, and then you have 3. And then you have 4. So 15 replicates for each group. So if you do not want to see all these CR yellow, whatever or not, you can click to view and you can untick the value label. So if you untick the value label, we call the sign number will appear this way: 1, 2, 3, and 4 and stuff. Okay. If you want to see, then you make sure that you click or check this box value label. So now you can see back the groups. Okay. Now we have all these: moisture, ash, protein, crude lipid, crude fiber, carbohydrate, and energy. So we are going to incorporate all the data in. Okay, now you click, open up your Excel again. Okay, so we just copy. Okay, for the first one is Megacephala in yellowtail. Copy. Okay, make sure you click and then Control V. Paste. Right? Now you go to CM Atlantic mackerel. Same thing, copy. Okay. Then you go to IBM. Okay, and then paste. Right? Then Rufus yellowtail. Paste. Okay. Then lastly, moisture Rufus Atlantic mackerel. Copy. Okay. Then paste. Now you have your data entered into IBM SPSS. Okay, say for example, you want to compute another variable. Say for example, the formula is I don't know, carbohydrate times crude fiber, for example. Okay, so what you can do is you can go to transform compute variable. Okay, so say for example the name of the variable is carbohydrate times, okay, carbohydrate times what, crude fiber, right? Okay, type, okay, so the say for example the formula is carbohydrate, transfer it here, okay, times by, you can put the, I will call, where is here, where is time, okay, times by crude fiber and carbohydrate, crude fiber. Okay, so this is the formula. Okay, click OK. So this is the output, what we call window. We don't want this, we just close it. No need to save it because we don't have anything. Now you have another variable, okay, into the what we call IBM SPSS environment. Without you have to calculate individually, the computer will automatically calculate it for you. Now you can save this, right? Save as, save wherever you want it to be saved. I just, for example, I put mine in document, right? I go to mine, tugas resmi, okay, and then I go to my lecture notes. I go to forensic chemistry. I go to statistic for forensic science, okay, SPSS exercise. Okay, I put here SPSS demo of data entry. Okay, then just click save and that's it. So again, this output window will be prompted again. You can just cross it. Don't have to, you're not doing anything, so just cancel it. So that's how you can bring in data into your IBM SPSS environment. Okay.